also want to take the opportunity, we're live on all the free channels, to wish Mike Gentian a very happy 73rd birthday. Never really interacted with Mike all that much before this, other than maybe exchanging pleasantries. And got to know him a little bit more this weekend and found out he is about as nice as they come. And he is celebrating his 73rd birthday, so happy birthday, Mike. Had a couple birthdays this weekend. Brandon Munoz just celebrated his birthday on Thursday. Kristen Grogan was last week. I know we celebrated that at this tournament last year. In regards to the conversation going on Twitch, I wasn't around, so I can't comment, but my thought was that Tony was always relatively high percentage too. That was the first I'd ever heard that, but again, like I said, I wasn't around. So, and I gotta say, just commenting on that, I know that you guys haven't seen it as much. He's been on table one a bunch, obviously, but Tony is seemingly working different things, still very high percentage, but things that we don't really see him do. Working that more into his game this weekend. He's been doing a lot more near wall passing. We've seen him in that match against Evan, at least in singles. He shot with his right hand from his 2-bar, which he might not have done a lot, but I don't think I've ever seen him do it before. And I saw him practicing Thursday after we got in. He was practicing a little outside bank from the 3-bar, and we saw him do it in a match, an open mixed against Brandon Munoz and Isabel Stelly. He was able to get it to go. So just more arrows in the quiver for him. So still waiting here to get these competitors to the table. Oh, but my producer did step out, so that gives me a chance to play around on that computer. Take a look at the bracket. They did put in the result for that table 2 match. Open doubles. Winner's side. Sprademan and David Maring did get that match against Jacob and Mike. So they will advance to play the winner of Kevin and Carlos against Trevor Park and his partner. Last name Najjar, not familiar with that individual, but him and Trevor making a nice run. As we get down to the last 20 teams or so, 15 teams. Are our friends still alive in that? Oh, nope, someone did get Hannah and Sullivan eventually. Looks like maybe it was Greg and Rob or Kevin. Oh, no, wait, it would have to be one higher. Oh, Dewey and Richard, maybe. Yeah, it would have had to have been. Looks like, just looking at the thing, Dewey and Culpepper and his partner Richard Herneman. I don't know who put them in the losers bracket. They were still on the winner's side last I saw. Oh, must have been Trevor. Okay. So, I was cheering for my buddy Hannah, who's been up here with me all weekend, and obviously Sullivan has been really making waves in the open events. By open, I don't necessarily mean open, meaning open singles and doubles, but I don't like calling them men's events because they're not. So, if you want to watch on InsideFoods.com, it looks like the match on table number 2 hasn't been called yet. They haven't called anything up over there. But it does look like we have flipped and are wrapping up here on table 1. So a little preview here. And I already mentioned it, Kurt and Daniel putting in the losers by Carlos and Kevin. They did a lot of switching. Kurt gonna stick with a pretty much straight rollover from the 3-bar. We saw Dan Schiermeyer, when he gets up front, mix it up. He has one of the quirkiest 3-bar shots that I've been exposed to, with a front pin that he sets up from a pull shot that he can reverse. So going to be a fun game to watch here. This one should be a little higher tempo than the one we just saw. Don and Patrick, both goalies in the last one, looking to slow things down. Don, I'm sure, will continue trying to slow things down. Dan slows things down, but he does a lot of wild pull and push kicks and different shots out of the back. So a little less structured, but still effective. That's a very good question, Clay. And as I look around to see if I do not. And as I look around to see if there's anybody else who might, I realize that everyone else has vacated the booth and it's just me. So I'm not even sure what the channel predictions are. Not familiar with that. But when Ashley gets back, I'll ask her. Or if Adam knows. Adam is here. Take another look at the crowd here. As we wait to get this one underway. On Twitch. And what does that do? What is the purpose of that?
Trevor, maybe, you know.
Oh, looks like we're having a conversation here. Oh. Okay. Well, I don't want to mess with this stuff because Ashley set all that up, but when she gets back, I will show her that. But that does sound fun. You guys can... What is slow mode? But again, yeah, as soon as Ashley gets back, which probably may or may not be before this match, but if she gets back before, I'll look it up with her. But yeah, you feel free if you guys want in the chat to make your prediction while we're sitting waiting here now that we know who we're going to be seeing. Honestly, personal opinion, this one's going to be kind of tough to call. I've seen a lot of Dan just because he lived in Florida for many, many years. And so I think somebody told me he moved to Georgia to see Don's back there. But getting our first look at Kurt, and I've played, had the pleasure of playing against Don in open singles, I think at Worlds a couple years ago, and seen a little bit of his game. And obviously just getting a first look this weekend at Rosel's game. All right, I will relay that. Maybe not all of that. All right, well, there's a bold prediction for you. And it does look like we are ready to get underway. We're bumping fists. I want an answer to that. after we're done here. And we are set to get underway. So Kurt Ackerman. First look, he tries to go through the lane, doesn't get it, but Don unable to grab the carom, so Ackerman with a chance to open scoring. Don challenging him to go push side, and eventually he does. So Chana hammers that one through the lane. Sticking with the pull shot here. We've seen him switch between the two, but Schermeyer keeps that one out. As Dan is able to find Ackerman's 3 route, so a chance to make it 2-0 now. Tries to come near side, can't get it to go. Tries the high lane and turns it over. So Achana now immediately switching to the rollover. Has seemed to be his higher percentage shot as he tries the straight there and then tries to bump that out into a push kick. And Dan now looking to clear. Schermeyer again, digging that one out. Tries an outside bank, and Ochana gets a big piece of it, so cleared to the back. Shalafo looking to clear. And does, so goalies trading possessions here early on. That one fired up the middle, and we'll do it again. Pass attempt picked off, so Ackerman going to get himself involved now. And loses that ball, so Ochana tries the middle of the lane, and it ends up with Shalafo. Ball comes to rest, so Don will have to put it back into play. Shalafo goes for that pass, working a lot for him last match, and they connect on it here. Not as clean, but just as effective. Ochana likes to shoot that rollover just a little off center. As Dan clears again. Oh, and Don goes with the inside bank. Questionable whether or not that was intentional. It looked like he was going for a push kick. Either way, they all count the same. As Ackerman gets a errant pass to go in as well. So, a couple quick traded goals, make it 2-1. Again, Ochana back to the rollover, tries the middle again. And Dan keeps it out. Dan tries to brush that pass down to the wall. No, Don just slaps that one down the middle of the table, gets it on goal, but Dan was there to greet him. And Dan again, with the pass, but that one also off the mark. Don gets another one on goal, but it ends up with Dan. That's the tempo for the game so far. It's just the goalies trading possessions. A couple goals in between. Dan tries the bank, but can't connect. Tries a pull kick, excuse me. Ochana blocks that one. And another push kick, this time blocked by Ackerman. And that one gets on goal. Schermeyer reels in the rebound. Tries the outside bank, can't get it. That pass picked off by Ackerman. Gets the forwards back involved again here. He throws a couple fakes and then taps that one through the lane. Good patience there from Ackerman, but Uncle Don stays posted on that far side. And Don gets involved as he puts that one down middle of the tables. Sprays that one home, now 2-2. Nice tic-tac wall there from Kurt. Tries to go push side, another good block by Don, and Kurt comes up with a rebound on the 5. Tries to brush that one up to the lane, but a little too high. Oh, and another good pull shot from Shalafo, now 2 in a row, and that shifts momentum back their way. It's now 3-2. So Ackerman back to work on the 5 bar, hammers that one through the lane. And gets that one to go, and we are tied up once again at 3-3. Good quick stick there through the lane for Rosalind, and he's going to call timeout. He's done well out of these timeouts from what we've seen recently. As we take a look. Oh, no, those aren't great shots. At the crowd there, see our buddy Michael Stahl, Bruce Narducci. Gentleman in that blue sweatshirt, that's Clyde, I believe, Baker, he told me. Very nice guy, I got to meet this weekend. And we are ready to resume play here as Ochana will put it back into play. And Ochana makes it count. Blasting that one to the far side. It's now 4-3. Taking a little bit of time here. Dan now. Dan very capable of getting involved from the back. As he kicks that one around the table and gets it back. Still yet to, but wouldn't be surprised if he can dial something fancy up here. And good block there by Ochana as Dan looking to clear again and again. Ochana with the block. Schermeyer again surveying, and well-timed pass there, and Ackerman loses the handling. It seemed like he had it, but he gets it back to his 5 and pops that one through the lane. So chance to tie here. Tries to go far side. Don, nice job getting over there. Don surveying now and sends that one a little wide. Might have gotten tipped. And Dan puts a big push kick up at the table, but it's kicked over in the corner. So Don, now we've seen him score 2 pull shots, and that time able to get it to his partner, as Dan couldn't handle the rebound. So Ochana now chance to put away game number 1. Tries to come down the middle, doesn't get it. And heavily blocked pass trickles through. Ochana again. Fires that one near side, and that's how game number 1 will come to a close. Taking a quick little look back here through the Twitch comments. A lot of them I'm not going to acknowledge, although they are very entertaining. I just want to mention somebody inquired earlier about when certain matches are going to be played. Unfortunately, about the Trevor match coming up. Unfortunately, if you've ever been to one of these or watched our coverage before, tournaments like this, it's really rare for us to be able to find out when a particular match is going to come up, as we are back into play here. So we just kind of go with the flow. As Shalafo will look to get game number 1 underway. See if he's got another shot out of the back on him. Goes with the pass, and Ochana does a nice job hopping out there and grabbing it. So now Rezo Ochana tries to go back to the push side. Dan does a nice job hopping out there. So Shalafo again. And that time blocked back by Ackerman. And Don's pass attempt is blocked, but he gets it back. So Shalafo still doing a nice job taking his time, controlling the pace, surveying that defense. That pass attempt is intercepted this time by Ackerman. Goes the long route, but does collect it on those 3. He tries to go push side, and Don there to deny him. And tough break there, and Schermeyer hammers the table. Might have actually straightened that one back out a little bit for us. Table hasn't moved too much this game, but Dan never afraid to wail on it. And Ochana gets a piece of that, but Ackerman able to work it through. Pulls that one near side, and Dan says, hey, let's pull a defensive switch here. Down 1 game to nothing. Shalafo, as we've seen him many times already, looking to clear. This time a different look, and gets that one on goal. And Ackerman will wisely let that one come to rest. As Ackerman hammers that one through. And now we get to see Dan Schermeyer's crafty pin shot, pulls that one long. And they take the lead 2-1. It's a tough shot to block if nothing else, because nobody else shoots like that I'm aware of. So at best, you rarely see it, if at all. Ochana now. Good pick there. Gets that one to go, now 2-2, and Dan and Kurt will switch back. And nice little hesitation wall there for Ackerman, so see if Don can deny him again, and he does, but Ackerman comes up with the block. And again, and this time Shalafo collects the rebound. Fires that one up the table. Able to clear. Now Dan Schermeyer's turn. Goes for a pole kick, and Ochana almost picks it off, but can't quite grab it. Oh, pass. A little too hot for Ackerman to reel in, but they did get a man on it. That shot is collected on the rebound by Kurt Ackerman. Tries the lane there. And pokes that one through nicely. Nice smooth pass there for Kurt. See if he can capitalize. And that one blocked up off the table. So great defense from Don Shalafo here in game number 2. That pass attempts. Ochana got a man on it, but it was deflected. So Ackerman reels it in. In that lane of pass. Ends up with Shalafo again. Another lucky break, and Dan again letting the rods fly a little bit as that one kicks around and goes in. Oh, nice tic-tac wall there. Ackerman's made nice work out of that option. As Ackerman fires that one deep to the near side, now 3-3. Ochana's pass attempt, first time denied, second time connects. Dan dancing around and able to get out there. And that one goes, and Dan Schiermeyer is not happy about it as it's now 4-3 and timeout called. After this match is over, I have some thoughts on that Thunderdome conversation, but we're back underway here in Ackerman on a ball they have to stay alive in this match and this event. Shalafo has blocked him well lately. Actually, was blocking him well. Ackerman, I think, got his last 2, but either way, Shalafo gets him there. So Shalafo and Ochana will take possession with a chance to put this one away. Oh, and that pass, well anticipated, but Ochana works it through the middle of the table, drops his wrist. Looked like he wanted to go quick, did. Still same body language, tried pull side last time, slowing things down this time before firing short to the push side. And in 2 games, Brazel Ochana and Don Shalafo defeat and eliminate Daniel Schiermeyer and Kurt Ackerman. I apologize, folks. It's been a long weekend. A lot of talking up here. Brain's a little fried. But they advance to 7th or better. So I know I'm way behind on the Twitch comments here, as I was calling that match, or attempting to at least. But I think there's certain things about that format that have its benefits and others that are not so great, depending on how it's run. I attended the first Thunderdome and participated in that. I've heard a lot of the things that I did not particularly like about the first Thunderdome were kind of smoothed out for the second, but I was unable to attend.
And